Welcome back, friends. Black Magic Sorcerer here with another book review for the Deviant Moon Tarot. And I love this guy. I love this whole motif. One of the things I didn't point out in the other video I made about this book is just how badass the cover itself is. It's got this really cool kind of like spiderwebby reflective type surface behind it. It's just a cool piece of art, the book itself. The spine, excellent. We all know who that is. Very popular game producer and card producer. So I wanted to make this video to go through the book again and show you some more of the art that I thought was really awesome. So let's jump right into it. Now, if you're into the Deviant Moon Tarot and you have observed the architecture, one of the things that you're going to immediately notice with these pictures is you can totally see the inspiration. Now, I got my Deviant Moon deck here, so I'll show you an example. See if I can find some architecture card that has an example. In the background of the cards, there's often different architecture. So if you look out that window, you can see the type of buildings and those tall, steamy structures that the author seems to really like. I also like a lot. Trying to find a better example. Just taking my time. But yeah, here we go. Virtually every card has these types of buildings and structures and just kind of like medieval castle-y looking stuff. It's sort of it's just sort of a strange world that he created. This one I think is a good example. If you just look at the background of this card, you can always see these tall building type city structures in the background. Here's another example. A lot of desolation, poverty, and just a very uncomfortable feel to the deck that makes it so unique, because the imagery is striking and odd in all the wrong ways, and at the same time it's appealing. I don't know how else to explain it. That's just how I feel about the deck. The way in which it depicts each character having a dark side and a light side. You know, when the moon is showing its light, on the other side of that moon is a dark side. That's why, better said, everybody has a light and a dark side. It's just part of our cycle. So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about architecture that he was inspired by. And these are photos of the actual buildings. These buildings were not European. I think these were taken in, let's see what it says here. Looks like it's in the United States. Oh, this is really cool. Check this out. It's like a just a great couple pictures of those kinds of old cemeteries. So you see, you get my point. That's the inspiration for that. If you were ever curious about that, it looks like he did some sculpture work. Here we go again, another excellent. Looks exactly like some of the architecture in the cards. Boogeyman Island. Pilgrim State Asylum, New York. I guess it's an insane asylum. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense that he would be into an asylum. Here we go with, I like these kind of negatives of the card. And then we start getting into the definitions and just showing the definition itself. So I'm going to just start flipping real random, real quick through. Each card has a pretty big backstory and shows examples of other cards or sketches. This is really cool how it just shows the development of this card. It's, you know, pictures of that same character. And look at this beautiful internal artwork. I love this character here. I don't know why, but he reminds me of Belial. It's like he's the one piloting this strange alien craft with these elemental creatures on there, and there's other characters there. Look at the detail. I mean, it's just a big, beautiful picture. It's hard to put it into words. It's just strange creatures riding on a boat, you know. But it's very unique art, and so that's why I really appreciate this so much. And again, being able to see the massive size of the art, and here's another example of the characters you're used to in their early forms. And I just love this book. That's why I'm giving it this quick run through, because it truly is awesome. You know, he delves into the dark side of a human being and exposes it very, very brutally. Whether it's poverty, riches, royalty, he brings out the it's almost as if he brings out the vulnerability of each tarot card. I don't know how else to explain it. It's almost like each card is extremely absurd and almost to the point where you shouldn't take it seriously, but there's so much and so many layers and depths to this that, you know, like the way he draws the hands and feet is very unique. They're very monster-like, or creature-like at best. There you go again. We're just going to flippity-flip. More sketches. And just, again, more really unique art. I almost wish some of this would go into alternative cards. But what he's showing is he's showing the development of each card, the sketches, and then of course the in-depth and very easy to read, if you have bad eyes, definition. So we're going to pick up pace here and maybe skip a little bit. I want the author getting mad that I'm showing off his work without someone being able to buy it. I gotta say, out of all my cards, it's funny, I skipped right to the devil, didn't I? Out of all the cards, I love this card, because to me, this encompasses the devil in all of us. That little naughty motherfucker who gets off on creating that mischief, the inner demon that sometimes likes to go out and maybe is looking for a fight. The naughty demon who's plotting and dancing away as he manipulates the planet he's dancing on, the earth, in a ball of flame. It's just such an absurd image, and it's so beautiful. The wings on this creature. This artist has extreme talent and chose a strange, almost cartoonish medium for his art, but it's so captivating. And that's what I think real art is really all about. Look at that blasted tower. I think, again, just out of all the decks I have, the strange details that he puts into these little cards are just awesome. And this is a blazing genius, obviously. This is an artistic master. He takes photos and then, you know, probably digitally manipulates or whatever to help create and be more creative. And he talks about that a little bit. And let's see. Yeah, it's just definition after definition of every single card. I mean, it doesn't fail at all. I love this card. This card is so cool. It just, what it always, when I see this card, I say to myself, okay, this is a leader leading the pack. So if this is my reading and I get this card, I always get a good feeling from this card. It's like you're in charge of the situation, your shit's together, you have total support. And the definition, you know, it's very close to how I feel about the card. So upright meaning. The Six of Wands illustrates the glorious results of education and personal development, like the Magician card. You will reap great rewards once you enlighten your mind and modify your old philosophies. Through disciplined effort, you will learn valuable skills that can advise your station in life. Now, just that being a part of a definition and how the depth of that, I love that. And it gives an equally good reversed meaning. Look at this art. I mean, this is a blazing genius. It gives you so much more. And for a $30 book, I mean, I have other art books. I've got some badass art books that have some really dark art. And I just thought this was so fucking fascinating because look at these fucking artistic tarot cards. I mean, I guess the problem I have with most tarot decks now is they're all a bunch of computer generated looking type images. These are actually sketched, drawn, I hate to say it, but real art, okay? And it doesn't mean that some of the digital art isn't absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I create it. I want to do my own deck someday with a combination of using AI and my own art. I got to figure out a way where you can upload your own art and then have the AI manipulate that art. So if that's even possible, that would be awesome. But here we go again. Just another example of rare art that's in this book by this author that you would never see if you just had the deck. And what it's showing is it's showing the development of a card. So do yourself a favor. Get on Amazon, get on whatever you're using to get books. Here we go again, another unique image. It's a totally unique card. Looks like it was going to be an additional card. And buy it because the decks are still available, this book's still available, and I really want to support this artist because the occultism that he puts into the art is also not overkill, but it's there. It's kind of like the dark LSD version of the Rider-Waite deck. That's kind of how I would describe it. And you know, if you're looking through the actual cards, you know, every one of them has an energetic signature that is just so unique. And what I love about it is when I see these cards, they hit me. Boom, boom, boom. If I put this card down, boom, I know its meaning, I know what's going on with it. When I have these other decks that have pictures that are quite beautiful, but have nothing to do with the fucking meaning of the card, and it just says Three of Wands, and it has some fucking abstract image on it, well, great. Now I gotta look that fucking card up and that meaning, because I think if you just base it in your mind that you have the Rider-Waite definitions in your head, then you'll just use any deck and use those definitions. But anyone that's been using tarot for a long time will tell you end up basically coming up with your own additional definitions and fillings for your cards, because they're your cards. You bond with your cards, and that's where the magic happens. Art is probably the most powerful occult tool in your belt of occult weapons, so to speak. You know, people focus a lot on spirits and demons and pacts and shit like that because it's more of an adventure seeking at that point, and God knows I love it too. But some of the more practical things in magic, like if you're gonna do a curse, just draw a picture of the fucking enemy that you know in your head, even if it's a stick figure, but put a bunch of energy into it. Draw the exact scene that you would like to see that person's demise in. Make a sigil of their name by creatively taking apart the letters of their name and then just putting them back together like a jigsaw puzzle. And then, you know, if you have to go to a cemetery and bury it there because you feel that it will draw more negative energy to it, that's something you can do. You can always burn your work after you're done with it, burn your sigils, stuff like that. But I'll tell you, the most powerful tool in your belt is art. The artistic flair to your rituals, your card readings, and your life especially. I mean, really, what is magic? Life is full of magic. We make it more magical because we see the beauty in life, and we see that through ceremonial magic, meditation, and basically just common sense thinking, eventually you'll realize we're in control of a lot more than we thought we were in control of, and we can do a lot more than we thought. So once you get into magic, you do gain a certain confidence because you feel protected. You know that you have weapons available. You know that they work. You're not afraid to use them. And, you know, for example, my spirits protect me. Like, let's say someone was coming to look for me and I needed to hide from them. Well, if I start feeling Belial here, getting a little scratchy or really fucking scratchy, I usually take that to mean like he's making me itch. It's like, hey, it's Belial here. By the way, you're in danger, or someone with authority might be around. So get your shit together. Don't be stupid. Don't be speeding. And then no sooner will I get that sensation and feeling, and I'll see a cop car. So they protect you in ways that you wouldn't necessarily even detect unless you are sensitive to energy. Like I said, I recognize that just that tattoo is itchy. Okay, that means it's definitely Belial. And then what I do is I just, whatever thoughts are going on in my head right then, I just pause out, take a deep breath, and then all of a sudden something will come to me, and that'll be his message. And you can tell because it's not your thought. And also the reason you can tell that it's not your thoughts is because the thought that pops into your head is exceptionally inspiring. It's as if someone opened a door in your mind and forced an encyclopedia of information into your database. That's what it's like when you really connect with a spirit and they're trying to give you real information. It just feels like, oh my God, this is a fucking epiphany. I can't believe what you're telling me, Belial. This is amazing. I would have never thought of that. And just that kind of inspiration that you get from the thought. Like, I know I'm not thinking that because I would have never thought of that. And that is fucking brutal to be in that situation and realize you're talking to a demon in your head and he's basically telling you your idea sucks and here's something that I can do to help you change that and make you successful. And you just have to be open to the spirits. They have a sense of humor. They're probably laughing at you more than they are anything. They don't get mad at you or become furious with you because you went to church or, because you still pray to Christ. They don't care about that. All they really care about, if you're going to mess with them, is that you give them attention and remember them, and that if they do something for you, maybe you do something in return, something nice. It could be something simple like giving them a beer as an offering, or going out into nature and carving their symbol on a tree, having a ritual. For me, the tattoos are about as far as you can go. I mean, it's like being married to them. These things are etched on my arm. I went through the pain of getting them etched on me because it's worth it. It's totally worth it to have explored this to the absolute max. I always reflect on everything I've done magically, and one of the things that always comes to my mind is, what have I learned? Have I really got anything out of this? If I had never practiced these rites, done this magic, got into tarot, using the pendulum, if I had not had those tools and I had just been Joe Schmo who just prays like a good boy like everybody else, would the results have been the same? I don't know. I don't think it matters that the results are the same. I think it matters the journey and who you align with. I mean, I like the energy that I work with. I like the intensity of it. I have pet snakes. Most people, they take one look at the snake, they're fucking horrified. I've seen grown men just basically almost turn around and tuck tail because they've seen a fucking little snake. And there's something about the snake that just absolutely inspires fear in a human being. You must go back to times where, when we were cavemen and the most poisonous snakes were killing us left and right. It's something in our DNA. We're just naturally scared of those creatures for good reason at times. But anyway, before I ramble any further, I just wanted to say this book is awesome. You should totally get it. And, you have nothing to lose by spending $30 on some extra knowledge and inspiration. And I don't know why I feel so compelled to push this book, but I really feel like this guide is an example of what all tarot guides should be like. Chock full of information, extra art, extra everything. It should just be the Bible for whatever deck you're reading. And a lot of these card makers do put out books that are awesome that come right with the deck. I just don't like when you have no choice but to deal with this. Okay? That's what bothers me about this. It's fucking microscopic and it's not going to last forever. So I've done well to keep this thing in one piece. Look at it. I mean, the box is beat to hell. I've never used the deck so much like I've used this deck. So anyway, friends, dark blessings. Bit of a sore throat, bit of a head cold, I think, coming on, so I'm a little out of it today. But I wanted to show you a deep dive into this book once more because it is totally fucking worth it. Give it a try. It's on Amazon. Dark blessings, friends.